Welcome to a quick video running through all the different things that are going on and changing in Marvel Snap for March 2023. There's changes to how the rank system works. There are changes to hot and featured locations. We have new locations coming to the game. We found out the order that cards are going to be releasing in this month, and we're going to be having a variant rush going on again, similar to the winter variant rush that we had not too long ago. Let's go ahead and dive on into the details now, shall we? I'm never one to bury a lead, so I want to start with what I think is the biggest change slash update in Snap this month for most people, and that is how the ranked ladder is working. Now, every time you hit a multiple of 10 rank point on the ladder, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, etc. You now get 50 free cubes instead of 10 free cubes like we've gotten in each season prior. This means when you hit, say, 70 for the first time, you now jump to 75 instantaneously. Second Dinner has communicated the goal for this change is they want more people to be able to make it up to infinite while playing fewer games. They said that based on the internal metrics that they look at, there are players who are not quite reaching what they think should be their visible ladder ranking based on their internal MMR, and making the grind shorter and a little bit less tedious overall should help make that happen, they're thinking. Overall, I think this change is probably a good thing. To give you an example of my own climb, this now means starting at rank 70, I now only need to earn 200 cubes to make it back to infinite rank, as opposed to the 280 cubes I needed to earn in previous seasons. This is a 30% reduction overall, practically, of total cubes needed to get back to my goal of being at the top by the end of the season. When I tracked my metrics in previous months, it typically took me close to 40-ish hours to reach infinite. This means that's now going to be reduced to about 30, playing at approximately the same rate, which means that it's about an hour a day of playtime, which I think is achievable for people that are more on the competitive side but aren't quite playing nearly as much as someone like myself who's able to play the game full time. Next up, we have a change to Marvel Snap's hot and featured locations that I think is an incredibly welcome one. To start with, hot and featured locations are essentially the same thing now. They are both 24 hours and have a 50% chance of appearing. Previously, hot locations were 24 hours with a 60% chance of appearing, while featured locations were 48 hours with a 40% chance of appearing. Another previous distinction that had existed between hot and featured locations was that the 48-hour feature locations were always a location that was being newly introduced to Marvel Snap, and this is no longer the case anymore either. In fact, the Tuesday night hot or featured location, whatever you want to call it, that's going on as I'm recording this video is a repeat for the first time, while the Tuesday locations for the next 3 weeks, which we'll take a look at in a moment here, will be new locations. That being said, they're not going to be new or repeats every week. It's just going to be a case by case basis, it looks like, moving forward. The final change to the system worth noting is that with these hot and feature locations, they are no longer going to be happening every single weekend anymore. In fact, this coming weekend, March 11th, there will not be a hot or featured location going on. While this week is a repeat location for our Tuesday location, for the next 3 weeks, it's looking like we will have brand new locations being added to the game. The Orcus Forge, adding a Sentinel to your hand whenever you play a card there. The Krakoa, which takes over both players' cards and plays them for them on turn 5. A mini Ego-esque effect, sounds obnoxious. As well as Asteroid M, which says after you play a 3 or 4 cost card, move it to this location. Speaking of new releases, we got the release order for cards entering Series 5 in Marvel Snap this month in March. MODOK, the season pass card from last month, is in Series 5 now. Master Mold will be joining Series 5 on March 14th. The Teenage Warhead on March 21st. And Kitty Pryde on March 28th. I'm not going to go over the rules text and my thoughts on these cards. I've already reviewed that. You can find that linked in the video description down below for my thoughts on those. Finally, we have another variant rush event coming to Marvel Snap starting on March 21st through April 4th. You'll have a chance to get any of these 5 steampunk variants out of a collector's reserve during that time period. While they haven't said there will never be a repeat on these in the future, the winter variants that happened during the last variant rush are currently not available in the shop, and they haven't given any indication of repeats updates on those. So if you like the look of these, it probably makes sense to start holding your collector's reserves for March 21st when they are introduced. That is right. The contents of your collector's reserves are currently determined when you open them, not when you hit them on the collection level track, meaning if you're especially interested in any of these pieces of art you see on your screen right now, I'd recommend holding on to those reserves to give yourself the best possible chance to open these with a bunch of boxes starting on whatever happens when these go live on March 21st. That's everything coming to Marvel Snap in March 2023. Snap the like button if you found the breakdown helpful. Let me know in the comments down below what thing you're most looking forward to. If you happen to be new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I post game news updates like this and deck highlights here 7 days a week, and I'd love to see you back again sometime. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks, and happy snapping.